At a construction site, progress is visible every day. Walls rise, structures take shape, and schedules move forward. What is not always visible are the small pressures building beneath the surface. This is a story of a breaking point no one saw coming. The project was on a tight deadline. The team had been working efficiently for months. Supervisors praised productivity, and daily targets were consistently met. From the outside, everything looked under control. However, inside the routine of the construction site, subtle warning signs began to appear. Morning safety briefings became shorter. Some workers skipped hydration breaks to stay ahead of schedule. Minor concerns were postponed with the promise of, "We'll review it later." None of these actions seemed critical on their own. Each decision felt small, almost harmless. The site manager, Daniel, was experienced and respected. He believed in discipline and results. He also believed his team could handle pressure. When a supplier delay forced adjustments to the timeline, Daniel encouraged everyone to increase focus and maintain speed. The atmosphere shifted slightly, not dramatically, but enough to matter. Workers started multitasking more often. Equipment checks were completed, but sometimes without the usual double verification. Communication remained professional, yet less detailed than before. The routine created confidence, and confidence slowly reduced caution. No one noticed that fatigue was increasing. One afternoon, during a coordination meeting, a supervisor mentioned that some team members seemed unusually tired. Daniel acknowledged the comment but assumed it was temporary. After all, the project was nearing completion. Everyone just needed one final push. The breaking point came quietly. During a routine task involving material positioning, a miscommunication occurred. Instructions were clear, but one detail was interpreted differently by two team members. The error was identified in time, and operations were paused before any damage occurred. There were no injuries, no accidents, and no losses. But the pause revealed something important. The team gathered to understand what had happened. As they discussed the situation, it became clear that exhaustion and pressure had reduced their attention to detail. Procedures had not been ignored intentionally. They had simply been treated as automatic steps rather than critical safeguards. That moment became a turning point. Daniel realized the issue was not a single mistake. It was the accumulation of small compromises. Shorter meetings, fewer questions, faster decisions. Increased workload. Each factor added weight to the system until it nearly failed. On a construction site, risks rarely appear. Suddenly, they build gradually. Fatigue, routine, overconfidence, and pressure can combine in ways that are difficult to detect unless actively monitored. Daniel decided to reset the approach. He extended safety briefings to include open discussions about workload and well-being. Rotations were adjusted to reduce fatigue. Supervisors were instructed to encourage questions even about tasks that seemed repetitive. Equipment inspections returned to full verification procedures. Without exceptions, productivity slowed slightly at first. However, clarity improved. Communication strengthened. The team reported feeling more supported and more focused. Within weeks, efficiency stabilized again, this time with stronger safeguards in place. The experience taught everyone a valuable lesson. The breaking point no one sees coming is usually the result of gradual changes that feel insignificant. It is not dramatic. It does not announce itself. It develops quietly through small adjustments that seem practical in the moment. In construction environments, prevention depends on constant awareness. It requires leaders to monitor not only physical conditions, but also team dynamics and workload. It requires workers to speak up without hesitation. It requires organizations to treat safety as a continuous process rather than a checklist. The project was completed successfully, but more importantly, the culture of the construction site evolved. The breaking point no one saw coming became the moment that strengthened the team's commitment to prevention. Because in construction, true progress is not only measured by what is built, but by how safely it is achieved.